I disagree with you. We've already gotten way more than we even need. I mean, it's an armed camp now. I think the founders left that little time bomb for the New World Order. I want to take some calls here, Max, but what do you make of the report here? I'm trying to dig it out. Central banks buy the most gold since 1964, and the source on that is the New York Stock Exchange and the Commodity and Metals trading.
Yeah, they started doing that in 2009. There was a 40-year reversal where the central banks became net buyers. They had been net sellers. And the reason why is because they are all selling massive amounts of bonds to degrade their own currencies as part of the currency war. They don't trust each other. So they are buying gold because they realize that the bond bubble and currency bubbles are popping, and the gold will once again resume as being the world reserve currency as it has been before and will again. So the central banks are buying gold. Now, here's where things are going to get interesting, because right now central banks are floating money to buy bonds. They're also buying gold. But at some point, they're going to switch. They're going to print money to buy gold. And then you'll see a hyperbolic move in gold, but it'll happen very quickly.
When do you expect that to happen?
Well, I think my friend Jim Rickards, who I think is the smartest guy in the world when it comes to gold and currencies, he predicts that when China comes out and announces that they have 4,000 tons of gold, right now they officially have 1,500, but we know that they've been buying very aggressively for a number of years, and they should have close to or over 4,000 tons of gold. Once China says, and it's known that they have 4,000 tons of gold, which on a percentage to their reserves and their population is critical, then you'll see panic buying in gold around the world. The central banks will triple and quadruple their panic buying.
But they've probably already reached that. They've just been keeping it quiet per globalist request.
I agree. So it's, I think, as you know, that we could happen any day. A massive kind of trapdoor is open beneath the bond market and gold prices skyrocket.
What's going to happen to places like Southern California when we really go into the Depression?
Well, price of gas goes higher, and we saw when price of oil went to $147 a barrel, you had people in the suburbs and the exurbs of California running out of gas and calling the police and saying, what do I do? They didn't make the connection between empty gas tank and no forward motion. That's how
I love it.
Unprepared. That's how unprepared they are. So
they're so helpless.
It'll be quite So we know what's going to happen. It's not going to be pleasant.
I don't mean to laugh evilly. It actually hurts me. But these gullible idiots that love the government and love socialism, they just really are the dumbest people on the planet.
Look, there's a percentage of the population that's not going to make it past this crisis. And we can't be too sentimental about it. But there's just a big piece of make your friends and do what you have to do. But a lot of the percentage of the population is just not going to make it.
Yeah, because sucking your thumb's not going to get you through what's coming. Oh, man, and folks, if you think things are crazy now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Here's a good example. You were talking about being prepared and being laughed at, and then the hurricanes hit, and the people who actually had the canned food actually did very well.
ProPure is introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. This is the Pro One by ProPure. You wanted it, you got it. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It cuts out the acid derivative of fluoride. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gates, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. This is a revolution against the tyrants. They love putting the toxic acid base of fluoride into your water. They love the fact that it's an adjuvant supercharging the trace Prozac in the water and the hormones and the other chemicals. By cutting out fluoride, you cut out the turbocharger in all the poison being artificially introduced into your body. This is what I use. It's a win-win. You get a high-quality product at the lowest price. You support the InfoWar. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. I find myself laughing more and more because stuff's getting so crazy. And now I realize I've been right about almost everything, and it's going to get as bad as I think it's going to get. And the general public still has no idea. I said we take a few calls here in just this short segment and a little bit of overdrive because he's got to go give some nighttime speech. He's doing stand-up now, if he's not joking. About this. Are you serious? You're going to do a stand-up speech tonight in London, or are you really going to secretly be in there using a squatty potty?
Look, I'm combining the squatty potty with my own compost generating mechanism. You got to get both. It's a combo deal. You make your own compost with your squatty potty, and this is how to be sustainable. This is what the true
Al Gore. Al Gore probably has a squatty potty. All right, that's enough. Let's go to Joe in Florida. Joe, you're on the air with the inventor of the squatty potty. Go ahead.
Yeah. Are you there?
Yes, sir. We're on squatty potties, both of us. I'm going to stop now. Yes, you're on the air with Max Keisser. Go ahead.
I wanted to thank you for the Saggity Sam cheer up. I'm glad to hear you're cheering up, Alex. It's great to talk to you.
Hey, the whole world's going to hell in a handbasket. Yeah! And well, Obama raised taxes on the poor people because he loves them. Yeah! Nice guy. I'm sorry.
Well, I can eat my peas. You know, I wanted to talk about the gun manufacturing across the world globally, and what I wanted to talk about.
All right, well, go quick because we're almost out of time. I mean, you got a question for Max Keisser?
Yeah, yes, give me a question.
On the industrial aspects of the firearms and all these names like Remington, who say America's oldest gun maker, and now they're actually made all across the world, like Belgium and Turkey, and we're supposed to go to Gander Mountain and support places like China and Russia. America's oldest gun maker, like Remington, are you kidding me? Really?
No, I hear you. Listen, I appreciate your call, Joe, but I don't...
New caller.
I appreciate it, Joe, but I don't get the question for Max Keisser.
New caller, no question. New caller, dump them, new line, new caller.
All right, let's go to Mark in Canada. You're on there with Max Keisser, also known as the obnoxious one.
Mark, or we're going to come after you with a squatty potty.
I live up in Dunster, BC, and I watch you all the time on RT and as well on Press TV through a satellite called the free-to-air system. And,
yes, sir, Mr. Squatty Potty. Do you have a question for Max Keisser?
I think he's trying to say that he likes my show better than any other show.
That's right. That's what it is.
That's a good point, and I'd like to emphasize that point.
Let's get serious. See, when he heard that ad, folks, Max is a funny guy. It was over at that point. Now he's gone into after work mode. I guess it is late over there in England. Caller, you got a question for Max because it's past his bedtime.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about silver and the movement that I've been doing in my life is, of course, rather than being paid in debt, which would be paper, I like to be paid in silver. Of course, I've had to remove myself from the social insurance system, but I think, wouldn't that be a real good resolution to the system rather than everyone being...
I agree. Alternate currencies, get out of the paper as much as you can, get out of the system. Max Keisser, how do we bring down the globalist?
I believe, and I've been talking to silver miners and gold miners, they could be a huge kind of plus to the global economy and everyone if they started paying dividends in bullion. So if you bought Gold Core or Endeavor Silver, which is a Canadian company, instead of getting $1 every quarter in cash, you got the equivalent in bullion. Okay, that would take those stocks higher. It would move money into that sector. It would recognize gold and silver as a currency. And I've been lobbying behind the scenes for this to happen. But, they haven't done it yet. They should.
All right, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv, MaxKeiser.com. Follow him at Twitter at Max Keisser and me at Real Alex Jones. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.